Live! Going live. Does anybody remember that program in the UK? Going, I got caught in the rain. Do you like my hat? YouTube's done that thing where it's got my back to front again. Anyway, it's all good. Hello. I know the YouTube is just like it's sending out notifications right, left, and center. Anybody come in? Come on. Come on in. Come on in. Come and see my disco hat. I haven't done this for such a long time. Well, I've got one like, but there's nobody watching, apparently. I feel like I haven't been on here forever. So if somebody could just put something in chat, let me know that you can see me and hear me. You hear me? You see me? Anybody there? Can you hear me? Can you see me? Let me know. Let me know if you can see my hat. Come on. Anybody? Yeah. Thank you, Dobbsy D, for saving the day. Marguerite, Jacqueline, yay! Hello, everybody. Hello. Feel like I've been away forever. The jar. Yeah. Okay, welcome. So nice. What about the hat? What are you thinking about the disco ball? I've got a little bit disco ball crazy. I think I'm turning into one. How are you all? You let me know how you are. I've missed you all. At the beginning of the year, which feels like a lifetime ago, I kind of heard like you're going to be off YouTube for about 6 months, and I thought, well, I go in and say, I don't know, why would I announce the why? Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? Who cares if you don't go on YouTube for 6 months, Joanne? Nobody cares. But I'm back. I've landed. Thank you. It's better in the sun. But my hubby says I'm not allowed to wear it in the sun in case I blind somebody. Apparently, I'm definitely not allowed to wear it while I'm driving. But I got soaked in the rain this morning, and I wasn't washing the hair, so the hat's on. But appreciate the hat. Like it's, I love it. How are you all? How are you doing? The last update I came in with was a while ago, and it was all about the energies up until the 28th of July. And this is a little bit of an update with regards to what's going on since then. Little bit of an update on what's going on with me and the changes that are happening, because this is Ascension. This is Ascension through evolution. So anybody who's been here for any amount of time will know that I change and grow and adapt, and I don't stay still. I'm constantly moving. So thanks for all still being here, tuning in. It's lovely to see all your names. Yay! Hello. Hi, Jane. Thank you. So lovely to be back. Okay, so let's have a little bit of an energy update to see where we all are, because and listen, you don't have to listen to a word that comes out my mouth. Okay, question everything. Damn it, I'm a lunch my teeth. Question everything. Okay, this is just my perspective on what's been going on, and I only share in order to assist everybody. You don't have to believe me. You don't have to listen to me. You can think that I'm just talking a whole heap of nonsense, and that's okay too. You are, Singer? You're flying to Ayrshire? Oh, from Brisbane. Wow. Rachel, when are you coming to Scotland? Hopefully we have sun for you. There hasn't been much this summer. But that's why it's so green and beautiful and lush. Happy travels. So for anybody who didn't see this, the energies I were feeling was, because it got real heavy. It got like, there was so much happening, right? So much happening individually. And what I felt like was up until the 28th of July was that it was almost like resitting your driving test. It was like, you learned all this. For me, I don't know, 20 years ago driving. Anyway, everything I'd learned from my kind of when I was awakening, everything that I'd learned from that point in 2017, it was like, you're being retested in this to see how far you've come, to see where you are, to see how you handle this. And this was happening to everybody, whether they had an awareness or not. And that's why I wanted to come in and really talk to people about what was happening and what I was getting, just to make people aware. So there was lots of cycles coming up. There was lots of things from the past. There was repetitive, if people have struggled with finances, they were going to struggle with finances. If it had been health, that was coming up loud and clear again. If it was relationships, that was being turned up. So it was almost like we had this relearning, okay, this retesting of our driving test, so to speak. Okay. Jane. Hi, Jane. September. Oh, awesome. It'll be the best time. Beautiful here at that time of year. You'll see all the different, the trees all changing color and gorgeous. Anyway, so we were having to relearn or reset our driving test. Okay. Now, up until then, and please, like, this is up for discussion. I'm not telling anybody what to believe or do. Please chime in here. I love to hear from you. Were other people experiencing this? Were you experiencing like really heavy tests, a lot going on round about you? And everybody, like, it almost felt like, since 2020, there was a lot of stuff out here, and then it just got up to the point of like, it was so close. There was lots of deaths, people getting sick, like, was heavy. So gather your thoughts, Joanne. Okay. So we were being retested up to this date because up until then there was very much a collective energy. So I, as you all know, that's probably watching here, is I work with energy. That's what I do. I feel it, I hear it, I can tune into the energy of anything. And after the 28th of July, things got very different for me. It's very easy for me to be around people. It's like, I could be in an airport, I could be in an airplane. I never felt anybody. I'm not feeling collective energy anymore. And I had to sit with that. I'm like, am I broken? What's happening? I can observe it, but I can't feel it anymore. And it's fascinating. So what I believe's happened is there are a certain amount of people that have broke away from the collective. And this is what I'm calling the split. Okay. So we broke away from, well, some of us have, some of us, and listen, you are where you are and everything's perfect, and please don't judge yourself. Please don't judge yourself. And I'm not making out I'm better than anybody else. I'm just sharing. And this might have happened to people before. I don't know. I just know that there was a whole heap of people who split away from the collective, the collective of Earth, let's say. So I believe now people who are doing the work, people who are awakening, people who are, who have got to a certain point in their ascension evolution are now within their very own versions of Earth, which they're creating every part of. Thanks, Jane. So we have this, but we're still there. I'm still living in that. I can still see the people. I can still see the collective. I can still interact with the collective. But I really am in like my own little universe. Trying to explain this the best I can. So when there are terrible tragedies happening in the world, terrible things happening in the world, I truly have become the observer because it's not happening in my world. Now, I don't mean that I'm in any kind of cognitive dissonance or I'm ignoring it, or it's literally all happening on a screen for me. Am I making sense? Somebody give me a little like, am I making sense so far? Because energy can be very difficult sometimes to explain, you know? So what does this mean? This means that I really am driving my own. We're not all in the boat anymore, okay? I'm very much in my own boat. Kelly! I am making sense, Jacqueline. Thank you. Please ask any questions. Like if you've got any questions about this, I'll do my best to answer them. So really, we were kind of like on a boat together, and now I'm on my own boat, but I'm still on the river with everybody else in their boats. Does that make sense? Now, the reason I'm sharing this is I'm going to be talking about some stuff over the next wee while, and it can be quite triggering. Can I sneeze? No, I might sneeze. And it might be a little bit triggering, okay? Because guys, I was breaking down spirituality, maybe this time last year, and I was making all these videos about it. This isn't about judging anybody. Everybody's exactly where they need to be. Everything that I've been through, everything that I've experienced has got me to where I am, and I'm grateful for it, okay? And if you are in a place that I'm not, that's okay too. Like it's all perfect, right? But with regards to where I am now, is a very different place to where I was at the beginning of the year or the end of last year. So I'm so aware now of my reality that I have to be very, very careful what I focus my energy on. Let me give you an example. All I can think about, there's been riots happening in the UK, right? Now, it was very important that I didn't add my energy to that energy. Because I didn't want to bring it into my world. I didn't want to bring it into my reality. So although these things were happening, they didn't happen. They weren't my experience. And what I mean by experience is I couldn't touch it, smell it, feel it. It wasn't tangible or real to me. Okay? if I add my energy to that, it can become very real to me. Because although I'm not part of a collective anymore, I still have choice. So what am I trying so what I'm saying is I am no longer part of a world that is being controlled or dominated or all these terrible things are happening. I can be if I choose to or put my energy there. Let me give you an example. This can be quite triggering, right? And you don't have to be here. It's okay. I love you. You don't have to listen to what I'm saying. You can't do what you want. Chemtrails, for example. Okay. I don't have chemtrails. I have beautiful, clean, fresh air that when I breathe in helps me heal and expand and grow, and I breathe the freshest of air. Now, I could live in a world with chemtrails, but if I live in that world, it's going to affect me negatively because of my belief system. Am I making sense? We are the fleet versus on the ark. Oh, Kelly, I love that. Tony, Dragon Queenie. I haven't been about for months, but I am absolutely phenomenal. Thank you for asking. Spiritual sunshine. Thanks, Jacqueline. And I'm not judging anybody for where they are. Everybody has their place and they're doing what they need to do. Okay. But I can't live in a world of division anymore. I I won't feed into it. I choose not to, and I will not give my power away to anything or anyone. So that means that I drink the freshest of water. I breathe the cleanest of air. I live in a safe and peaceful world. So energetically, now is my life going to be perfect? Of course, no. Of course there are still programs, there are still belief systems, there are still all these things that will come up for me that are part of my reality for me to deal with and love and heal and all the rest of the stuff, right? But it's very important where I put my focus, because I'm in such a place now that my consciousness has expanded, which means my awareness has expanded so much that I have to know what I'm feeding. I have to know which energy I'm growing. Okay, it's all energy. So if I'm focusing on something, no matter what it is, I'm giving it my energy. If I talk about it, I'm giving it my energy. That's where we are now. Think about it. I really, really want you to sit with this, okay? More people are awakening every day. They're awakening to the reality of the collective, okay? And that's necessary. It's necessary for growth. It's necessary for awakening. It's necessary for healing. It's necessary for... But that collective will always be under control. Think about it. When you awaken and you find out all the stuff, right? You go through all the stuff. We talk about not being in fear, but how can you not be in fear? How can you not be in fear? Truly. You're in constant I can only speak about myself. I was in constant protection mode. Constant. I have to protect myself against this and against that and against that. If I didn't have fear, I wouldn't have to protect myself against anything. So that fear is being fed. Just think about it. You don't have to agree with it, but just think about it, right? So, and I wouldn't have agreed with this 6 months ago, a year ago. I've just said, what a heap of rubbish. Funny that, isn't it? But as we go through this evolution progress, and we're ascending out of the chakras. So much to talk about here. We're ascending out of the chakras, okay? And we're becoming the conscious human. This is what I believe. We're 6 months into an ascension through the chakra program, meeting some other beautiful souls, which I am assisting, guiding on the journey. And it's becoming very clear that people aren't going to like this. Let's say it anyway, that the chakra system also has an element of control to it. And so does the spiritual community. And certain spiritual beliefs have been allowed. Certain spiritual beliefs have been created so that to take you off course, to take you off path. And it's okay. It's perfect. It's all perfect. But this is happening, whether people go through go through it with me or not, right? Maybe just happen a little bit slower. We're going very fast. We're doing it in 12 months. But it's happening gradually. And it's really to get us to this point where we are no longer part of the collective. What do you think New Earth is? What do you think that whole vision of peace is? You can't have fear and peace in the same space. You know? So I've been breaking down a lot of spiritual bullshit and stuff that I believed. Gonna be breaking it down here. Not today. I'm gonna be picking little topics over time so that we can come in and we can discuss it and we can really look at this together. And the only intent I have about this is freedom. And I've been shown recently that the key to freedom is joy and happiness with yourself. Completeness, complete happiness and joy with yourself. So I have other little branches that are branching off at the moment. I'm starting a little silent discos and little raves, in my little community here. Feel free to follow me on any of the socials, by the way. I'm going to be I'm just going to share my joy because I feel it's really important. I want people to feel free. And I don't know how people can feel free unless they actually experience it. And by free, I mean free from judgment. I mean free from labels, free from other people's belief systems of who or what you should be. And this is why the Enjoy Freedom movement is happening, because if I can create a space where somebody can just feel free for an hour, 90 minutes without worrying about what anybody thinks about them or says, no social media, no videos, no pictures, just being themselves, that can then help that become a full-time reality. This is my full-time reality. I love my life. I'm sitting with disco ball hat on. Know what I'm saying? my life is just joyous. You know, I can find joy in the most menial of tasks. And it's because I found the joy in being me, of just being me, of being silly and funny and daft. And it's not my only hat. If you see, I'm like, I'm just doing things that make me happy, you know? And it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks about that. But I'm in this space of just freedom. And I really want other people to experience that. So you can find me Enjoy Freedom Movement I'm even on TikTok, I know. Anyway, I'm digressing from the whole blinking point, okay? The opportunity is arising, okay? To get to these spaces where you're in your own, you're no longer part of the collective. You can still interact with it. You still have choice. You know, your friends and relatives that haven't quite got there yet, you still interact with them. You still have love. You still have that, but it's just a different space. We're in a different space from other people. So what I'm seeing is like, I'm seeing like imagine a big tank of water. Okay. And in this tank of water, the collective is being shown as like fish in the fish tank. Right. But I'm like in a little bubble. And I can still see the fish and I can still talk to them and they can still talk to me. I don't know. But I'm in my own little world. It's the only way that I can really explain it right now. And it's peace and it's joy and it's freedom. And I don't have to give my energy to anything that I don't want to, because if I do, I bring it into my world. And that's responsibility. It's responsibility. Let me read. Sparkle and Grit. Hello, Steve. Life's been a challenge this year and it's taking me down different paths. So glad to have stumbled in this live today. It's light in the dark for me. Oh, Steve, big hugs. Big hugs. Yeah, and this is it. Because when we know the truth of the collective world, that's what I'm going to call it, it's dark. And it really can bring you down, you know, and everything that's been happening there, like when we're part of that and we feel that, but we don't have to stay there. And this is what I'm getting at today. We don't have to focus there anymore. It's not my job to wake anybody up. It's not my job to point and show them the atrocities in the world, because at this point, people can't miss it. So it's not my job to be part of that anymore either. It's my job to be part of creation and creating the world that I do want to see. And that can only come from me. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I have to be the change I want to see in the world. What do I want to see in the world? I want to see more disco hats. Okay. I want to see more people walking around with disco ball hats on. I want to see more people just being happy, like genuinely happy. I want to see more people living their life. I want to see more smiles. I want to see more peace, please, peace. So I have to become all these things. And to do that, I have to be true to myself. I have to be authentic. I have to be peace. I have to be joy. I have to be love. And I'm not saying I'm perfect at any of these things by any matter of means, but I'm doing my best, and I get better and better every day. My life is beautiful, and there's nothing in it that I would change. Do you know why? Because if there was, I would change it, right? Tony, I'm an old gypsy woman. All I can say to you right now is life is precious, very short. And if only people could focus on positive, even if it's a negative more, life becomes much easier no matter what. 100%, Tony. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Absolutely. Like, it's little things, right? Like, let me give you an example. I was putting a whole heap of clothes away, right? I don't mind putting things in the washing machine, drying them, but then I kind of look at it and it builds up and it builds up until it's fallen off the worktop. I really need to do something with it. So I'm like, just gratitude, you know? Like, I'm so grateful. Imagine having all these clothes to put away. Like, how grateful am I? And then I put music on and then I dance while I'm doing it. And I just keep repeating to myself, like, wow, thank you for, thank you for God, for or original creator or whatever. Thank you for like providing all this for me, and finding the joy in the it's you're Tony, you're so right. Life is so short. And I said something to somebody the other day and I was like, oh, I need to put that on a t-shirt. It was really good. So I said, life is a gift, and the gift is being human. I spent a lot of my time being very spiritual and living in very spiritual realms and doing lots of spiritual stuff. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but I couldn't cope with the human. And that's the truth. I wouldn't have said it then, but it's the truth now. But I can be both, I don't have to live in that world or live in this world, but I came here to be human. I came here to have a human experience. And it doesn't have to be a negative one. It is what I make it because I have choice. Hello, beautiful April. Mark, hi. Jacqueline, I don't think there's anything more freeing than living life as your authentic self. And this begs a really big question. People are like, who am I? Who am I? Because we get so lost in labels and we get so lost in titles, don't we? Like, how many people got lost being mum? How many people got lost being wife? How many people got lost being friend? How many people got lost being work colleague? Like, how many people got lost in an illness? How many people got lost in an addiction? These things aren't really who we are. These things are what other people's perception of us are. And then what happens is we want to please other people, right? So we become these perceptions other people have of us, or even worse than that, we become the perceptions that we think other people have of us because we don't even know. There's no way you can know how somebody sees you. There's no way. And everybody's going to see you completely differently. I'm not going to comment on that, Mark. Everybody's going to see you differently, everybody's a different perception of you, but it's important that we don't become that perception that other people have of us. It's about stripping back that labels. And that's, people, they expect me to do that, or they expect me to do this, or they think I'm going to be this, or they think I'm going to be that. That's where the authenticity comes in. That's where the being honest to yourself, honest to other people come in. That is where, like, just not doing things that you don't want to do. Why are you doing stuff you don't want to do anymore? Why are you doing it? And I'm not saying getting from the collective to, being in your own little world is easy, or you can just snap your fingers and get there. Yeah, there's a lot of barriers to break down. There's a lot of layers to people. You have to be honest with yourself. Spiritual sunshine. I'm finding that fear is of the mind and pieces of the heart. When I'm in my heart, there's a knowing inside that nothing can touch. It's the most beautiful space. Here I'm home and free. Beautiful. But there's a saying, peace of mind. So also we have to bring peace to the mind, I believe. Is finding peace of the mind through the heart? Did we do that through the heart? Probably. But peace is about finding peace everywhere. It's about finding peace in your life, peace in other people, peace in your mind, peace in your heart, peace with your body, peace with your choices. We're in this point where it's all or nothing. We have to be completely authentic or not at all. We have to be completely at peace or not at all. And it takes work. More disco hats, Jacqueline. Let's get more disco hats. April says, I can't do anything about what you think about me. That's none of my business. I can only be authentically me. Hi, Karen. Lovely to see you. Yes, April. Because it doesn't matter. That's where it doesn't matter. Other people's perceptions about you, here's the truth. Other people's perceptions about you are only due to their experience. So what that means is there's nothing you can do about it anyway. Because you're never going to be their experience. So what happens is when we can detach ourselves from that, we become free, right? And the biggest piece of this whole, freeing myself from the collective, was acceptance. So hard. So hard just to accept shit. Like, how hard is it just to accept stuff? I've always been Suzanne, my dragon sister. How are you? How hard is it just, I don't know. Does anybody else find acceptance hard? But like true acceptance. So true acceptance is just accepting everything. Accepting it all. How people are, what they think about you, their judgments, like that the levels of acceptance I've had to dig into this past year, I found it so hard because I could never just let anything go. I would I've had like conversations in here about this, right? How do you let things go? You can't let them go. They have to be transmuted, surely. Surely. But it's about acceptance, and acceptance was the key. Acceptance was the key for me. I'm still not 100% there, but I'm better and better. Tony, when my son became paralyzed at 9, whoa, all I've done is fight battles. My advice for all is each night before you sleep, be grateful, and each morning the same. Life always works in mystical ways. It's interesting. I'd sent a message to somebody today, and they've been having a hard time with their family and stuff. And I said, but there'll always be ups and downs in life. But some days I'm just grateful for my breath. Do you ever have days where you're just like, have you ever just like felt the air around you and just been like, just been like so grateful to be breathing and healthy and happy, and just because there are some people that can't even take a full breath. Like, this is the stage that I'm at. It's almost like everything's alive. It's almost like everything has this consciousness and everything is God. Everything is divine creator, I prefer. We'll have a chat about God another day. But divine creator, everything's just like, I'm just so connected to everything. And I'm so grateful for it all. Oh, it just feels so beautiful. Tony, John, you've definitely chanted so much. Changed? You look truly amazing for it. So happy. Oh, thanks. I think I look like a bag of shit today, but I'll take it. Well, do you see what I mean, Mark? Like, do we accept? That's what I mean about acceptance, everything. Well, true freedom is about falling into acceptance for everything. You just have to accept it. It's difficult. Judith, I was so happy to see you when I woke up. I understand what you're saying. I love you. I love you. Thank you for being here, Judith. Joyful to be here. Hey, so much the weight of the world can tend to shoulder its responsibility that simply is not ours to bear. Authenticity is not only about being yourself, but letting go of things that are not ours. Yes. Oh, words of wisdom right there. John, my son is on a ventilator. You must be really tapped into things because breath is life. Yeah, Tony. Oh, thanks for being here, Suzanne. Rosa, hi, darling. Spiritual Sunshine says, exactly, I feel this way every single day, even when things are tough. And just take a moment to look how far you've all come. Such a short space of time, really. I'm just not part of the fight anymore because I can't have peace in my life if I'm fighting. You know what I mean? If I want peace in the world, I have to be peace. And to be peace, I can't be fighting. It's and there's the trap. Talk about traps a lot. You can get out of a trap. You don't have to be stuck there. But because we're so passionate and so loving, we want to fight for what is right. We want to fight for justice. We want to fight for freedom. We want to fight for our loved ones. We want to acceptance helps you find the peace. I stopped fighting. I stopped fighting to find peace. Karen, when I was super stressed one time last year, a random lady told me it will be all right. You just have to get out of the way. Mark, as somebody said to me in one of my videos, this is a tinfoil hat on steroids, actually. It's like, oh, crap. It's better than a tinfoil hat. It reflects everything. Ooh, shiny disco balls. Absolutely. And it's a bit like, and I'm sure did I share this message with you? I don't know, but I came across this saying, and it was, stop trying to calm the storm. The storm will pass. Hold on, it's on my phone. Calm yourself. This changed everything for me because I could just see myself out there fighting to calm the storm. I was never going to calm the storm. The storm was going to come in. The storm was going to do whatever the storm was going to do. I had to calm myself. And this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. So even the likes of 5G doesn't exist in my world anymore. Why would I? Why would I give that any power? Like, I hold the frequency of my reality, and my frequency is much higher than anything that could try and affect that. Because joy. because I'm truly joyful in myself, because I'm truly happy with myself and who I am. None of that shit can affect me, right? I'm not going to give it the power. I'm not going to give it the focus. I am John of York. Joy. Yeah, the storm clears things. It does what it's got to do. You know, it does what it's got to do, and it's not up to me to stop it. It's not up to me. I didn't create it. It's not up to me to stop it, right? So here we are, and we're in a space where there is collective stuff going on, and there's an opportunity be to thrive in your own universe, observing the collective. But it takes work and it takes dedication, and you have to know where you're putting your energy. Let people make their choices, accept it. Mark, you mentioned JC, like she's on her own path. I love her. She's doing exactly what is right for her, you know, and it's not up to anybody to judge what that is. You know, that's between her and original creator, right? Divine creation. I accept everybody's choices, and I accept that it's, you know, it's a choice that is right for them in every moment, because everybody's exactly where they need to be. I can see the bigger picture of that, you know. We're gonna come on. We're gonna talk about God. We're gonna talk. I don't know if you remember my beautiful friend JD. Me and her, I think, still haven't touched base with her for a while. But JD also found Jesus, and we're gonna have a chat about it. Me and her are gonna record a little video, and we're gonna talk about it. Because I'm sick of division. I accept whatever anybody wants to do. I have to. It's nothing I can do about it, and it's not my choice. But let's, instead of like going, oh, they did this and they did that, let's just open it. Why can't we have a conversation about it? Because what's happened is, with the division, if somebody doesn't agree with your belief systems, then you know, see ya. That's what it's become. It was orchestrated that way. It's not up to me to do that. It's up to me to accept it. Let's talk about it. Let's come together. Let's have discussion. Let's figure this out. Let's bridge these divides. Let's be accepting of everybody's choices and what they want to do. It's not our business what anybody else is doing, right? You accept, I accept. Bye, Candace. I love you. Have a beautiful day. Of course, Suzanne, it's not my line. I found it somewhere else, but yeah, it's beautiful. My son seen God when he died, and angels also, and many other things. And this was spoke of a 9-year-old boy. Wow. I want to talk about it. I'm going to talk about this in my Patreon group first. We're going to talk about this next week. But where's God and spirituality? Spiritual people that you follow. I was one of them. Not judging. But you know, where's God? And why are we so triggered by the word God? Why are we so triggered by it? Oh, anyway, for another day. Okay, so I'm going to bring it back to the energy. So we can be part of a collective. And listen, my empaths out there, give me a little heart if you feel you're an empath. If you label yourself as an empath. Pop a little heart. Come on. Come on. Show me your hearts. When you pop out of the collective energy, you don't have to feel everybody's stuff anymore. So there's a focus for you. Now, I figured this out when I went on holiday recently, and I was in an airport, and I was on a plane, and, very busy airport. And I all of a sudden realized I didn't feel people's stuff anymore. I was like, normally I would get really overwhelmed in that situation. I'd have to have shields up and do lots of energy work, and just it wasn't there because I'm just not part of it anymore. So, but this is what I'm saying, Mark. This is where we're going. This is a future. It's choice. I can work with somebody and I can tune into them. I can work with them, I can tune into them, and I can feel their stuff, but I get to choose now. I get to choose when I do that. I don't just have to feel it anymore. So we can be part of this collective poop or doo-doo, as my little one would say, doo-doo. And we can focus our energy and we can talk about it and we can look at it and we can say how bad it is and we can do all the blaming of all the blame and shame and shame and shame. But we're going to get to the point where we're one. What happens when you become one? What happens? Hi, Karen. What happens when you become one? You're everything. You can't blame the blame then. You have to take responsibility for it all. I can't go point and figure one with creation, Mark. One with what term do you like, Mark? Do you like the term God? Do you like creator? Do you like divine? Do you like because ascension for me is that it's about becoming this conscious human connected to everything. Soul works for me. So when you become one soul, Mark, when you're just love, when you're just acceptance, when there isn't division, what happens when you get there? You can't blame anything else. It's all you. You can't blame anything. You can't blame anybody. You can't say politician's fault. It's the 1%'s fault. It's the healthcare providers. Big pharma. It's all you. It's all you. When we gonna take responsibility for that? And if you're not there yet, that's okay. You don't have to be. You can be wherever you are. But I'm letting you know that's where I am. If I'm blaming somebody for something, I'm blaming myself. If there's something to fix in somebody, I have to fix it in myself. Because I have to be the change that I want to see in the world. Good, Mark. Good. That's what it's all about. But what if there's different layers of happiness? Because I've always been happy where I was. But I'm more truly happy now than I thought I was. I thought I was happy 10 years ago. When I look back to 10 years ago, I'm like, wow, that wasn't a real happy. But I would have fought you for that 10 years ago. I would have been like, yes, I'm happy. How dare you tell me that I'm not happy? Because I didn't know what true happiness was. I just knew the level of happiness that I was at. I didn't know that there could be better. I didn't know that joy could be so joyous. But it's good you're happy. Good, because it's a key. Happiness is a key. As long as you're happy with yourself, that's all that matters, really. Because you are everything. Suzanne says, I think we all believe in pretty much the same thing. We have a different name for it. Yeah, which makes fighting the more. Yes, I was just having this. Oh, I've got spirit here. I was just having this conversation, Suzanne. I was just having this conversation actually the other day. Because I asked somebody if they believed in God. And what they said to me was, I think everybody believes in God. And I was like, what do you mean? And they said, well, if you've seen a baby being born, or you've had a baby, or you have a child, you can't not believe in God. If you've witnessed the sun coming up, if you've seen a sunset, can't not believe in God. And it was a really, really, really interesting thing to hear, you know. So, the wars, the everything, it's all just division, and it's all just me. So, no more war, just peace for me. Everything is here to help us awaken at our own pace. Everyone and everything is playing a role. Some people need more extreme circumstances to become conscious and set them free. Yeah. I rose by any other name. Belinda! Hello! Lovely to see you. Are you asking me? Do I believe in soulmates? Yeah, ask me questions, please, because I don't know what I believe anymore. So let me just, what do I believe in soulmates? I believe that we make an agreement to come here with certain people, certain souls. I believe that we make an agreement to come here with certain souls to learn certain things, to have certain experiences. I believe in soul groups. I believe in for this incarnation anyway. It's all I can talk about. I know that I had a little get together around the table with at least that's how it's shown to me. With a whole load of souls that I know today, and we all made certain agreements with each other. So if that's what you mean, by soulmates, absolutely. Of course I believe in that. Yeah, 100%. This this channel, this connection, this a lot of this has been when you recognize somebody, you're like, I know you. How I know you? You've never met them. They're part of your soul group. But on a higher level, it's all you. I believe we choose to have the life we have. We choose what we want to achieve while on earth. Yeah. Nixie! Yeah, so the word Anamkara. So I use Anamkara for our Patreon Anamkara. And that's all about soul connection. That's all about that, just like the connection that you just don't need to explain, Okay, I'm gonna round up and finish up a little bit. So what I'm saying is there is a collective. People talk about the collective. Okay, there are those energies, but there are also souls that have come away from the collective and are in their own creations of their own reality. And that's where I believe I am. It's where you might be. You are wherever you're meant to be. No right, no wrong. But I believe this is where we're going. If you want, you may still choose to be part of a collective, and that's okay. That's exactly right for you. That was right for me. It's not right for me anymore. That's why things change and grow. And I'm not here to stay the same. I'm here to evolve through my ascension process. So that's what the lead up to the 28th of July was. Like, are you ready? Are you ready to break free from the collective? Because to break free from the collective, you have to hold responsibility. You have to be responsible for everything. You have to be able to accept everything. You have to be able to be peace. You have to be happy with who you are. You have to be whole. And for those that are still part of the collective, there's more opportunities. There's always more opportunities, more tests and more initiations to get you to that point. If that's where you're meant to be and that's where you're meant to go. Marguerite, I feel we've been told we are here to learn, but are we? Perhaps we're here to remember, to reunite with who we really are. Is that not a lesson in itself? Yeah, Mark. Like, can we start up like let's get a disco ball cult. Do you want to be part of my disco ball hat cult? Wanna? We're all one, Jane. That girl 81. Thank you for answering. I've met someone recently and it's been electric and it feels at an amazing soul level. I've never felt it before. I don't believe in twin flames, but I do believe in connection. Yeah. Collectives of sovereign no, individual. We're getting away from the collective. Collective is like a hive mind. Okay. Collective is like you all affect each other. We're coming away from collective energies into individual energies where we can still operate as one, but as an individual without being influenced. Instead of influence, we inspire. That's what I call myself now. If anybody asks me what I do, I'm like, influencers, and they'll go, yeah. I'll be like, well, I'm not one of them. So I'm like the opposite of that. I'm like an inspirer. I like to inspire people. I think it's all remembering or forgetting. Here's the thing, like we are our programs, our memories are. What if we're just here to erase that? What if we're just here to clean that? What if it isn't about remembering? What if it's about forgetting? Robin, thank you for this message. I haven't heard you in a while and I've stopped watching TV years ago to stop giving my energy to it. Well, that's another interesting conversation, right? Because I've talked about it, we've all talked about like turn the television off, but we have one of these like in front of us like this. It's worse. It can be worse depending on what we're feeding ourselves, Yeah, I'm an inspirer. I want to inspire you all to be free and live your best life and be joyful. The end. Be an individual. It's who you are. You're individually perfect. And it's the memories and the programs and the distortions that cause that belief of bad or wrong or imperfect, or you're all perfect. You're all individually perfect. Not meant to be what anybody else wants you to be. You're not meant to be any labels. You're just meant to be you. Always an inspirer. Nixie, a chance to do it all differently and make a new choice, like one of those adventure books where you choose what direction to take the story. Oh, yes. But let's go one further than that. Oh, that's a beautiful, what's that word? Analogy? I mean, that hasn't changed. I still can't talk properly or use proper words. Um, I think it's an analogy. So, like when we were asleep, we just had one book, and we had to read the pages and we had to follow what was in the book. And then as we like get into the spiritual awakening part of it, we go into that book where we have like different choices, and then you go to the different page, but it's all still in the same book. It's just an illusion of choice, right? Because it probably all end the same, right? It's just an illusion of choice that you're not just one book, but you've got all these choices. But what happens is when you break away from the collective of that, you're just writing your own story. You don't need to read anybody else's because it's all you. And every day, it's just like you go and it's just blank. It's a blank. Story's not there. Every day you open it up and you write a new story, and every day you pick it up and it's blank again. That analogy. What is that? But I love that. Thank you, Nixie. Okay, puppies are barking. They need a pee. So on that note, I'm gonna go. I have opened up, so within Patreon, every month we do little messages from the dragons, and people have been loving them. And the dragons came in and they're like, you need to put that out to everybody. So I got a big nudge to do that today. And it's a video. It's like, I want everybody to have access to it. So it's like £33. I can only do a certain amount of them every month, but basically I pull cards and then the dragons come through and they give the message. It's on my website if you're interested. I'm back on all socials. You can find me on Facebook. You can. Under Ascension Evolution. But I've also got my Enjoy Freedom movement, which I'm inspiring people to live in their joy. You can find me on Facebook and TikTok and Instagram. And I did set up a separate YouTube channel, but I think I'm just going to put it all into the one. I'm just going to bring my disco ball hats here. You can all get a disco ball hat if you want. Make one. Or not. But I mean, I'm gonna let you know that it's very hard to have a hat at a bad day if you've got a disco ball hat on. Let me show you this one. Oh, never mind the hair. Right, so look. Oh, how can you like? Well, it actually gets one. How can you have a bad day? How can you not be happy? Hold on. How can you not be happy if you've got a shiny thing like this in your head? Huh? I've been told I'm not allowed to wear this either when I'm on my little. Imagine living in my village. You got me my little electric scooter. Morning! Ding ding! And then I'm dancing about. I love my life. I love my life. Please love your life. Oh, it's not coming off. I'm gonna have to keep it on. I could disco ball my scooter up. Oh, stop. Oh, I can so do that. I'm gonna have a disco ball electric scooter. Oh, did I tell you my life just gets better and better? I made my disco helmet on. Tell you what was funny when this all came in, and this was all downloaded and uploaded and sorted within 48 hours, right? But I had Disco Ball Dragons come in, and I just thought that was hilarious. Anyway, right. What are you trying to say about Glasgow, Mark? They'd love this. God, you mean they steal it? Maybe. Maybe they would. Oh, and lights indigo. Oh. See, the thing is, I probably get away with this more because we're in Scotland and we don't get a lot of sun. But like, if you live somewhere where you get a lot of sun, I don't know if it would be legal to you'd be blinding people on the road, wouldn't you? I did have Disco Ball Dragons. Jenna, Disco Ball Dragons. Don't know if they just wind me up sometimes. Anyway, may this inspire you to have a day of joy. Just find your joy in everything and anything. Like, seriously, like, life is for living. Live every moment. Just live it. I love you. Thank you for being here. Your time is the most precious thing that you can ever give anybody, because time does exist. So thank you for giving your time to this beautiful space. I love you. I'm back. So if you want to give a little like up there, then go for it, because it's time. It's time the world had more inspiration and disco ball hats. On that note, I love you. Have a heavenly day of heaven and earth. Oh, it'd be better if I did that and it just came down, wouldn't it? Hold on. Joanne Dunn for the evolution of Earth and your energy update for this very now moment. Over and out. I love you.